Thanks, everyone, for joining us. This is the Schuylkill Report, giving you information what's happening not only in Schuylkill County, but throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. Of course, my co-host, a friend of mine for many, many years, Jerry Enders, who is the main person of Jerry's Auto Sales, Northeast Auto Sales. How's business been?
Well, Sam, you ask, I'm going to tell you, it's been a little slow, and people are kind of confused on the electric car issue. And now I just watched the news. Pennsylvania wants to impose up to a $300 tax on electric cars because they're losing revenue with the not using gas, so they're not getting the gas tax.
That's right. Well, that's a story, a whole story.
I think that's something we're going to talk about one day.
We were talking about different towns in Schuylkill County and different interesting things that are happening. If I remember back a while, every little town has something to offer.
Oh, absolutely.
Delano, for example, Delano, there was a nice, I don't know if the family's still, nice Italian family. They used to make goat cheese. And so my friend of mine says, well, let's run down to Delano and pick up some goat cheese. So we go to Delano. And it was a snowy day, beautiful Christmas time. It was a nice atmosphere out there. Anyway, we go in there, Italian guy's there and his wife. He says, he has the goat cheese. He says, why don't you have a piece of cheese and a glass of wine, right? Yeah. Well, you never want to do that because after 3 hours later, with the goat cheese and the wine, because the cheese is so fantastic.
Right.
And as I'm trying to reminisce all the different towns in Schuylkill County, which hope we could get the stories from some of these towns. Please send them in to me, sam@ssptv.com. Some of these stories.
The heritage that they offer.
Yeah.
I was going through the papers here. I had some with me the last time we were talking. We didn't get to it. But one big thing for heritage, you had the Baber Cemetery here with a lot of history, and that's where Mr. Biddle is buried. He was the first black man to be killed during the Civil War. He was in the Civil War. But then Origsburg, they did a story on monuments down there in Origsburg and throughout the county and the Historic Society, but just going around visiting cemeteries and reading the tombstones and the markers, it's just super interesting. It's so much history dating back 200-300 years.
Right here in Pottsville is.
Right here in Pottsville and Origsburg, there's Civil War veterans, Civil War people buried. So as you were saying, Sam, each town has a lot to offer. I mean, you got the Kabasi family up there, Kavonics, and we had Cuck's turkeys on here. That's not a tourist attraction, but it's a great attraction.
Yes, it is.
For the holidays. And we have Mrs. T's pierogies, but there's a lot of ethnic food in our county.
A complete diversification of food,
Absolutely.
Now listen, I have something that I want to read to you, okay? Now, believe me when I tell you, this is going to maybe about 6-7 minutes, but it's well worth listening to. And if you get a pencil and paper, you want to jot some of these things down, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It says, this was sent to me, better concentration in 5 minutes or less. Now, dear Samuel, do you ever have one of those days where it's just impossible to stay focused? You have a lot to do, but things keep popping up, interruptions, phone calls, emergencies. They steal your attention, and nothing ends up getting done. Well, you're not alone. Everyone has trouble staying focused, and it's no wonder. From the moment you wake up, your attention is under assault. In fact, listen to this. A study from the University of California, San Diego found we're bombarded by over 100,000 words every day. You're constantly being blasted by the internet, television, radio, newspapers, text messages, all clamoring for your attention. So as you can see, getting distracted is not your fault. But once you lose focus, is there any way to get it back? Now here's the good part. Fortunately, the answer is yes. And we got some surefire health hacks to help you cut through the clutter and focus like a laser beam. Best of all, these tricks are easy, fun, and in one case, delicious. Number one, get back to nature. When you can't concentrate, a simple way to get your mind back on track is to spend time outdoors. Now, don't worry, you don't have to spend a week camping in the forest. Studies have shown a quick 5-minute walk in the park will do the trick. Even eating lunch outside can help sharpen your thinking. And if you're stuck in the office and can't get outside, simply putting a green plant in the room can do wonders. Number two, indulge in brain-boosting bite. When your mind gets foggy and your thoughts start to blur, there's a delicious way to bring back your concentration. You'll love this. Eat a piece of dark chocolate. Remember though, you want chocolate that's 75% or more cocoa. Cocoa is chocolate, its natural form, is chocolate in its natural form, and it's chock full of powerful antioxidants that can help improve blood flow, and that means more oxygen to your brain. So enjoy a fun-sized bite of chocolate, and very shortly you might notice your thinking is clearer, faster, and more focused. 3, plan your way to better concentration. Playing games, board games, video games, puzzles can really sharpen your ability to focus. Then get your mind working in different ways and keep you involved in happening in the moment while still planning your next several moves. And that helps boost your working memory and concentration, which means you'll find it easier to stay on task without mind wandering. Now, so the next time you have too much to do and you're feeling really scattered, go sit outside and enjoy a piece of chocolate while you do a crossword puzzle. And in no time, you'll feel sharper, more focused, and happier. This comes from the Princeton Nutrient team, my friends. You know, it's interesting. I was reading these things, and you, especially, every day, you have so many things going with your committees,
Right.
etc.
And yourself.
Yeah, and then and you have to focus on each one of them.
Right.
It's just crazy.
Well, you're right about that. I went into the office early today, and that goes to that point. I went in 2 hours early before the phones rang, before anybody came in, anybody talked to me. And you can achieve a lot more with that quiet time. You're just fresh out. You might have had a cup of coffee or sipping on a tea. But just that quiet time is proof that without anybody interrupting you, you can get 5 hours work done in 2 because you're concentrating. And that goes to your point
Yeah.
of that story. And with the point of the chocolate, now I know why Janet's so smart. She loves chocolate.
Yeah. And of course, you can't.
And your wife?
Yeah. Well, no, she doesn't. She's not a sweet. She eats a pineapple every day. She's. I should be half as fit as my wife,
Yeah.
But it's interesting. We're talking about Schuylkill County and the different counties. So a lady came up to me at Boyer's market, and she said, "Mr. Lesante, will you be talking about any other towns outside of Schuylkill County?" I said, "Well, every town has something to offer,
Right,
I
right.
come from a little town called Partysville. You come from a town in what?
Lichens.
Yeah,
In Dauphin County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I think it's nice to go back and reminisce some of those things. It just brings us focus.
Well, absolutely. And going to your point of being outside, I just jotted some notes. They're really moving along well from Philadelphia up here to Schuylkill County with the Heritage Walking Trail. The Heritage Walking Trail goes down along the railroad and down through Auburn and down into Philadelphia and across on 61 where our dealership's at. They put the trail from Schuylkill Haven up into Pottsville. Now it's going over to St. Clair. So there's plenty of area to walk safely on these trails. Pine Grove, Sweet Arrow Lake. You've never probably been down there. Beautiful area, beautiful lake. They have a beautiful clubhouse. You can go down there and fish, kayak. There again, Pine Grove, the other end of the county. Something to do. Then you can always take a ride up on the Hawk Mountain. Hawk Mountain's got a beautiful walking trail. If you're older, you don't want to go all the way to the very top rock, but midway you can see down through the river of rocks, the valley. So moving around the county here, and we talk about, the Schuylkill Report. So you can do the Heritage Trail, you can do Hawk Mountain, you can go to Pine Grove, but there's a lot of outdoor activities, and it's free.
Yep. And
It's free.
a lot of great eating places too.
Oh, all along the way. Well, sure, you have to stop at those.
Yeah, every town has something unique. Okay. Now remember, my friends, if you have anything that you'd like to talk about, or like us to talk about, or mention any activities happening, we tape the show once a month, and we'll be more than happy to mention them. My email is sam@ssptv.com, and we're here at the Schuylkill.
Schuylkill Visitor Center, Explore Schuylkill.
Yeah.
And I would like to, since I'm honored to be on the board here, thank our staff, but thank Regina and our board for allowing us to use the facility. And I do want to mention, you're talking about the county. We just had our holiday get-together party, and you talk
Geez,
about.
I must have been out of town.
You talk. Well, next year we'll have you there. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
But you talk about the county, the diversity of tourism, the diversity of restaurants and wineries and microbreweries and Airbnbs now. We're getting a lot of bed and breakfast, a lot of beautiful facilities. So the county has a lot to offer, not just one thing. I mean, and when I spoke at the dinner last Tuesday, that was our discussion, was the diversity of the organization.
And it's healthy.
It's healthy.
It's healthy. It keeps, I hope the job situation, would improve a little bit. I know there's a lot of things happening, and the wages would be, coming up a little bit with inflation and stuff like that. But you guys have been working on it pretty good.
Yeah, working on it great. Like I said, we have a great staff, but Explore Schuylkill is the key component to keeping everybody together. Marketing, and they do a great job. Our visitors guide will be coming out, and then we'll do a show on that next year.
Looking forward
when
to
the
it.
new guide comes out. But,
Speaking of guests, you have a special guest coming in today. Who do we have coming up?
TJ Fitzpatrick. He has taken over the reins of the greater Pottsville Winter Carnival. I say greater because they take in the whole county, Pine Grove, Orisburg, and the Greater Pottsville Winter Carnival is held right out here at Martz Hall and the high school at Pottsville, going on for many years. And we'll have TJ come in here and let him talk about that. But I should wait till he comes in to tell you this, but I'm going to just drop this.
Oh, no, wait. You're not going to steal his thunder now, are you?
No, but I had the opportunity in the early 70s, I think it was 74, and TJ was not even a glitter then. And I had the opportunity to go in the Winter Carnival parade. It was a huge parade, like the Pottsville Car Cruise.
Yep.
Huge parade. People still talk about it today. And I am a drummer, and I played with a polka band on the Yingling float.
Is that right?
I played on a
You
float.
You play drums?
I play drums.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I'm a drummer. And I had the opportunity, I was asked to play on the Yingling float in a polka band. And I don't think I ever want to play Roll Out the Barrel again, because I played it all the way from the other end of Pottsville all the way down to Center Street. And it was It was cold. It was bitter cold. You're playing the drums, holding sticks with your with your gloves on.
I was a trumpet player, so I marched in the Hazleton High School band.
And that's cold.
Yeah, okay, that's cold. I didn't know that.
We need to bring TJ in.
We'll bring him out. We're gonna take a break, my friends. You're watching the Schuylkill Report with Jerry Enders and me, Sam Lesante. Hope you're learning something about the county. It brings back a lot of nice memories. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Schuylkill Report. I'm Sam Lesante, along with my co-host Jerry Enders. It's interesting, my friends, ssptv.com. I was reading a headline in the Hazleton Standard Speaker, of which we're happy to be media sponsors with. Partners, and also the Republican Herald here in Pottsville. But they were talking, the headline read about something about lack of original programming, all right, in the country. Thank God we're fortunate for SSP TV, our company. We produce over 21 locally neighborhood programming. And I want to thank all of the sponsors who participate with us, and We really appreciate that very much. And remember, if you want to watch any of our shows, this show, you can go to our website, ssptv.com, or go to YouTube, our YouTube channel, and all the shows are there. Appreciate it, and thanks for making the Sam Lesante Show the #1 talk show in northeastern Pennsylvania. Jerry, we have a guest.
Yes.
And who is our guest?
Well, he's the famous DJ, entrepreneur, TJ Fitzpatrick.
That was a nice introduction, Jerry. I appreciate that.
Oh,
Thank
you sing too.
We do a little singing, yes, sir. We
I've
dabble in
got
everything.
you under my skin.
We dabble in everything. We've mastered nothing.
Right. But TJ is heading up the greater Pottsville Winter Carnival, which we had talked before he came in. Takes in all of Schuylkill County, Pine Grove, Blue Mountain, all the different schools, and you got quite a legacy of the Winter Carnival. And I was just telling Sam there before you came in, I had the opportunity in the early 70s, and I'm looking at this picture here from 1974, and I think that was the year that I had played Roll Out the Barrel on the Yingling float.
Wow.
I was in a polka band, TJ, and back in those days, if you hear people talk, the Winter Carnival parades had the Mummers from Philadelphia and all. A lot of history. But tell us what's going on today. What changes? I know it's not a full month long. You kind of scaled it down to a week.
And actually, the scaling back was to go back to the origin. So, I mean, there are events leading up to the week of Winter Carnival.
Okay.
So we have our Get Acquainted party for our contestants. That's just an opportunity for all the girls to get together. They spend 2 hours, kind of meet each other, just to build that network. We have a tea party at Mountain Valley. That's where our royalty comes. Parents, the little girls, they all come. They have tea with our royalty. None of those are judged events. That's just a public event.
Right. So the public can attend that.
Yes, correct.
And when is that one?
That is actually the day after our Winter Fest. So that is January 21st at Mountain Valley, and that will run from 12 to 2. Tickets, all of our tickets are done online, so people can actually, right from the comfort of their house, pick how many tickets they want to go. We scan their phones, or they can print the physical tickets and bring them right to the events with them.
Online, where do they go?
We have a website, so our website is greaterpottsvillewc.com.
So they could go there, and that's where they could get their tickets.
Everything they would need, they'll find on that website. So our calendar of events, information on the age groups, our tickets, information on the tickets, costs overall, things like that. So Winter Carnival, like I said, it's geared, so we have 3 age groups, as you know, Jerry. We have our snowdrops, which are 2nd and 3rd grade. What we did with that is we capped it at 25 contestants. For the sanity of the organization that runs, the people that run that age group, we capped that at 25. We met that goal. We have our snowflakes, which are high school juniors.
Right.
And as Jerry had mentioned, those are from our 12 sending districts throughout the county. We'd love to get more of the snowflakes out to join us for that pageant. I think right now we're sitting at 12 or 13. We'd love to be closer to 20. A lot of schools do a great job of sending those girls. And then we have our queen contestants. So that's 18 to 29 years old. They just have to live or work in the county, and they can qualify to be a queen contestant. So we have 19 queens. We're excited for that. Again, we'd love to be, a 20 and even 20, 25 for that. But really the support. So what happened was Winter Carnival, we had great momentum, and then COVID.
Right.
So last year was our rebuilding year, which was an awesome year, and we came out of the gate swinging. It was a great year, and this year we're keeping that momentum going. Our theme this year is Viva Las Carnival. So yeah, we're having a little fun with some Vegas themes.
Yeah.
Our Carney Arnie, our mascot, is back. You'll see him as Elvis this year, floating around the events. And our biggest comeback this year is the return of the Vulcans. So we're excited for the Vulcans to come back. They're going to start making their way to public outings, promoting Winter Carnival. They'll be selling our 2024 buttons, which I did bring for each of you gentlemen.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Our buttons, they'll be handing out calendars.
Like Vegas.
Yes, we went with the Vegas theme,
Yeah,
yes.
take a shot of that,
Yes,
Sammy.
Viva Las Carnival. I did bring one for our fine camera crew here as well. Yeah. But our Vulcans will be back on the streets. They're going to promote Winter Carnival. We posted that on Facebook, the return of the Vulcans. It was shared hundreds of times, and it was viewed by over 26,000 people. So I think that there's a certain excitement. As Jerry mentioned, the parades.
Right.
We would love to one day, get back to something like that. I mean, the legalities and the financial
Very
cost
costly.
that goes with the parade. But I think bringing back the Vulcans is a step closer to kind of rejuvenate Winter Carnival as a whole.
And we can't have this session go by without mentioning Billy Payne.
I love her.
Okay. Now, for you who do not know of Billy Payne, Gary, give a little.
Billy Payne was the lifeline to the Winter Carnival. Great lady, her and her partner Agnes Riley worked together, but Billy Payne would start the day after the Winter Carnival was over in January and start planning for next year. And she was the kind of person, if she called you for sponsorship, called you to volunteer. My wife Janet did judging for several years. Billy says, Janet, you'd be good at this. You know people. And Janet had the opportunity, really loved doing it. She did judging and that. But Billy Payne, we've named a lot of things in her memory. But Billy was a great lady. And Bob Weaver always said, no one ever said no to Billy Payne.
You didn't. There wasn't an option.
You remember her?
Oh yes, Billy was like a grandmother to me, and I can promise you, without having met Billy, I wouldn't be sitting here, with you gentlemen talking about Winter Carnival.
I had the pleasure of knowing her. She was on my advisory committee, and she also has been on the show a couple times. But her heart was into what she did.
Just a great
She
family.
wasn't.
I mean,
She
all
was
around.
nowhere, looking for glory or she. And now, when you're talking about the Winter Carnival, there's a series of events here. Give us a calendar of events so people know what's happening on. Okay.
So the three judged events, aside the Tea Party, as I mentioned, is open to the public. Now that's happening again in Mountain Valley. That's the day after Winterfest. That's happening 121 at Mountain Valley from 12 to 2. Then we have our next open to the public event is on 128, January 28th, which is our Snowdrop and Snowflake fashion show. Okay, so the girls, that's happening at St. Nicholas Catering Hall, which we get a great attendance. We're thankful for St. Nick's as a space because we need it for those events. We sell those tickets out pretty quickly, but the girls take to the runway. It's an opportunity for the judges to meet them, kind of see their personalities, what their interests and hobbies are. So those two fashion shows will happen 2 p.m. for the Snowdrops and then 5 p.m. for the Snowflakes on the 28th. Our Carnival night is our staple event. So that's our Queen fashion show. This year we have Toolshed Jack as the band. So our night starts at 7.
And where will that be?
That's at St. Nick's as well.
St. Nick's also a very good venue.
Yes.
Easy parking.
Easy parking, yes. They are very accommodating.
Yeah.
But we're fortunate, we have a great band. They're going to be set up. So we'll have our fashion show from 7 to 8. Then the band will take the stage from 8 to, we say 11:30. But we're going to have our Vulcans present. We're going to reveal our Vulcans that night. We're going to have Carney Arnie floating around. Our contestants are going to work the room. Yingling has been great this year. They're going to help be our premier sponsor for that event. So it'll be Yingling products on draft. For $20 a ticket, that includes the band and alcohol for that. So it's 18 to enter, 21 to drink. Again, those tickets can be purchased online. But we'll have T102. They're going to do a live broadcast from Carnival night. It's just a really fun night. Last year, I believe we had around 300 people.
Wow.
I think with the return of the Vulcans this year, really promoting that event, we're hoping for closer to 400. So we're excited.
Who gets involved? I mean, like, how could someone get their children involved?
The best thing I could say is if you go to our website, there's a contact us page. If people are interested in joining or in any
Volunteering.
Yeah, volunteering. We're always looking for help. That's the best thing. So we have people that delegate different things. So what I would say is, if you get it to me, and if it's to be a Vulcan, I would get it to our individual who runs the Vulcans. If you're interested in judging, it helps kind of get delegated.
Correct way to do it, too.
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity for the young people to get involved. I know
Right,
that.
and that's
Now, before we go to break, what's the website again?
it's www.greaterpottsvillewc.com.
We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Schuylkill Report. I'm Sam Lesante along with Jerry Enders and our guest TJ Fitzpatrick. Jerry, the question we had about the Vulcans?
Yeah, I know. I was watching you, Sam. You had this strange look.
Yeah,
TJ,
like I always
explain
do.
to him what a Vulcan is.
They're troublemakers, Sam.
Yeah.
That's what they are. Yes. So it's a group of individuals, guys, girls throughout the community. They're selected and they go around to establishments, and so they'll be at our Winterfest. They come to our our other events as well. And they help promote Winter Carnival.
Good.
The secret is nobody can know who they are. They have to.
Good.
They change their voice. They give hints as to who they are, but we don't want people to know who they are until the grand revealing at Carnival night. So that's the
Oh,
night
is that
before our
you?
pageant.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we want people to think they know who they are. Want them to, it's part of the game. But they help to sell our buttons. They help to promote with the calendars and just stir up Winter Carnival
raise
interest
heck.
and raise heck and chaos.
Thanks
yes.
for coming on the show. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Jerry, what do you have coming up next?
Hey, our next show, we're going to have Jack Casa from Alvernia University, Opaque Institute. And Alvernia is right here in Pottsville now, in the Opaque Institute, beautiful facility. And we'll probably be filming there.
Okay.
And we'll have him on, and we're going to be talking about, higher education and what they have to offer right here in Pottsville, Sam.
Good. Well, my friends, remember 24/7 you can watch all of our shows. And if you have any interesting things about your town, please email me, sam@ssptv.com. Love to have your information. We'll see you next time.